So that'll be the first chunk that we talk about. So maybe in that section it addresses several of the techniques. So if we can get through this first section, I think that we can maybe have more smooth sailing throughout the rest of the video without having to stop and maybe explain too many different techniques and things like that. So maybe the easiest thing to talk about, if it's the first time you've ever done it, is palm muting. P-A-L-M. Palm. Palm muting. It just means you use your palm to mute the string a little bit to give it sort of like a more percussive sound. So basically you just want to pretty much put the pick, put it on the E string maybe, and then you just rest your palm on the bridge as well, the bridge of the guitar, and you start chugging away. So basically there are different variants, or there's levels to palm muting. Maybe you want a sound like this. Maybe you want to move it to the left a little more. Oh, it got a little tighter. So loose, tight. It's more clicky. So depending on what sound that you like, if you want a clicky sound, you can still get that. If you keep moving up as in to the left, the sound goes up, the pitch goes up. It's really weird. So you definitely want to explore just some palm mutes. You can palm mute with just your thumb, That's kind of what I do in the intro to this video. So basically the next layer, or the next technique to talk about in this small section, is maybe hybrid picking. Just the idea that, like you're palm muting like we talked about, but you also need to play this E, this second fret on the D string note at the same time, and in maybe a syncopated pattern. That just means sometimes the D string E note, sometimes it happens at the same time as a palm muted E, like this. So I'm picking the low E, and I'm plucking this higher E on the D string at the same time, so that's the same time. Sometimes they're off each other though, like you might palm mute a low E and then pluck the D string, like. Sometimes they're at the same time, so I think you can really clearly see that in the tab. If they're at the same time, it'll have the 0 and then the 2 like right on top of it. So you just want to like sort of line them up, follow it along really slow, as perfectly as you can, and work it up to speed. So what's another technique going on? Oh yeah, so that. Maybe like you could call it playing staccato, or shorter notes. So let's see, it's just, you could practice that by just playing the D string, like plucking it with your middle finger, and then right after you pluck it, you just touch that string again with the flesh of your middle finger, like maybe the the fingertip. So you pluck it, pluck and touch, okay? I missed. Pluck and touch. So that'll create that short sort of stopping sound. Doom ba ba. It gives your music sort of rhythmic life, I guess. Okay, so we talked about palm muting. We talked about what's going on with hybrid picking and syncopation, staccato muting, these notes that pop out. And then we could talk about hammer-ons, because you need to know how to hammer on to get through this first section of the riff. So the hammer-on is right here. So, okay, so what's just going on there is I'm using my middle finger on the left hand to hammer. So it's just you just pluck the open A string, or you pick it, and then you use your middle finger to strike the second fret on the A string. So it's just like playing A, B. So instead of going plucking every note, it's just, so I go pluck, hammer. Pluck, hammer. So how do we make proper hammer-ons? They are a little easier on an electric guitar, but I mean, I remember my first hammers kind of sounded like that, because you kind of like you're scared to like miss, basically. But if you can get your range of motion to be a little bigger, it'll allow you to move from your middle finger knuckle here, right here. It's a powerful knuckle, and you just hit that thing super hard, super fast, and from maybe like higher up. But I don't think I play like that exactly now anymore. You don't want to always be like doing this all the time. You can still get a very powerful sound just by like, you don't have to start here and hammer. It just has to do with the speed that you strike, okay? The strike speed. Here's a slow strike speed. It's like, and it's really quiet. Now watch what happens when I strike really fast. Bam! It makes it louder, more powerful. Just like with palm muting, where you have to kind of experiment and play around, you want to do that with hammer-ons as well. It just takes time, okay? I could give you just a quick, exercise. A good hammer-on exercise could be to pluck the open string, the open A, and hammer onto the B string, and then maybe pluck the D string and hammer on to the D string on the second fret. Maybe do it for the G string as well. So you get, that could be a lick. So there will be a tab of that exercise. It's super simple though, Just make sure it doesn't sound like. Make it sound really even and controlled, like da da da. Do 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 do. Very rhythmically even. that's how you could practice hammer-ons that in a way that would help you a lot with this particular part, you know, this particular intro. So okay, with that blabbering about techniques out of the way, we can start to put all these techniques together and figure out a measure or two of the John Pardi groove. Okay, so you'll see that's the very first thing. It's a palm mute and then a pluck on the D string, and it's the situation where you would stop it really quickly. So okay, so the good news is because you touch the strings again to stop them, they're both touching the strings. So right after you stop, you pluck again, but you pluck the pick and the middle finger at the same time. So okay, so the next sort of little rhythmic figure going on, it's maybe like you could think 1 2 3 1 2 3. In other words, pick finger pick, pick finger pick. So pick finger pick, pick finger pick. So from the top it would be okay. If you can notice that the D string note rings. It keeps ringing while you palm mute sometimes, like here. Okay, so it just means you have to sort of palm mute at an angle, which is basically like if it's the first time you've ever palm muted, not only do you have to figure that out, but you go maybe the extra mile and angle that palm mute so that, you know, you're not stopping the D string. So watch, here's the D string. Now watch this. I'm gonna angle my hand a little, watch. And I'm still, oh sorry. So you can hear how the low E is palm muted pretty heavy, and the D string is not, and that's because my hand is sort of at this angle, okay? So there's a lot of sort of details going on, lots of little pieces to put together. So far we have here comes the hammer thing. So what I do is I pluck the open A, and then I use my middle finger, my guitar second finger, to hammer, and then I play the E again. So you can play the E with the middle finger, so it would be maybe like, or the pick. I just played it with the pick and it felt really good. So you could play the open A with the pick, hammer on, and then maybe upstroke the the E there, which is on the D string, 2nd fret. So that's the most famous lick ever, you know. So you would want to definitely take those 3 notes and smooth them out. Just dum dum dum, pick, hammer, pick. You know, if you're a beginner, if this is more advanced than what you're used to, you definitely have to break this riff into those tiny pieces, okay? And smooth it out and get used to that. So we have waves. Alright, so basically all you do is add on another palm mute. While right after that you hit that E string from the hammer thing. So, and once again you want to let that D string E ring while you hit the palm mute. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. What's next? Let's see. Good news. It's the same exact thing we did earlier. So you do the you know, the pick, and then pluck, stop, and then together. So you do that again. So ba, ba. So what's next? All right, the best part. So right after what we just did, you just palm mute again, and you just pop on the 5th fret. So what I do, you can see how I actually shift positions and just use my my pointer. That helps me to I don't know, just play with attitude, you know. You could use your pinky. That might be more proper. So or so wait. So okay, the next best part is to so you do pick, then the G here on the 5th fret, and you pick you palm mute again. So palm mute, G, palm mute, then the E on the D string, and palm mute again. The next move is to play a D and hammer to the E, and then you pluck the E again. So it's D, E, E. Oh, sorry. I like hearing it kind of choppy like that. So what I really am doing is as soon as I hammer to the E, I actually touch the D string really quick. Then I pluck the E and touch again, so it's like super short. Da da da, you know. So and then we get to maybe the last technique thing to talk about, just the idea of quarter tone bends, which, you know, doing it on this G is like the most common way to do it ever, but it's this sound, you know. So from what I can hear, what I can tell in the intro to that song, there's all these other like layers and stuff. So I'm actually like not super sure of what exactly is going on, but I think what I hear is the guitar player playing this particular part. He goes like a quickly going like beow beow beow, like so let me just show you what's going on here. It's exciting. So basically you just grab this G, which is the 3rd fret on the low E, and you bend it a little bit, and you release it, and then you do it again. So it's like, you could do it fast, like. So how do you bend fast like that? I think it has a lot to do with behind the guitar. So, you know, It has to do, you think of it as like yanking it, really, like you're like yanking the string really fast, you know. It's kind of silly. It sounds like a jibber jabber. It's kind of goofy, but you just do that twice. Just like with palm muting, you want to explore like maybe how far you can go with it before it just sounds like trash, trash. So how far do you want to bend, I call this a quarter tone bend because that's about how far I want to get, Quarter tone means like a half step bend would be if you bent from all the way to this note. So how would you do that? It's far. And I want to bend like sort of to a note in between this note and this note. So if this is a half step, then the note I want to hear when I bend is 1/2 of 1/2, which is 1/4, a quarter. So that's why it's called a quarter tone bend, okay? So you can hear 3 distinct, different, notes. Okay? That's the blues. That's kind of cool. So, luckily, that is basically it. I think what's going on in the song from there is basically exploring that same groove, but not with every single note, not with every single technique going on. They kind of simplify it so that all kind of other instruments can join in and that the vocal can sound good, I think John Pardi even plays guitar, so it wouldn't be fun to sing over like all this stuff. But he does kind of keep a groove going. What I'm thinking is, if anyone watches this at all, let me know if you would want to see a lesson, maybe explaining more of this song, And before you go, please check the link in the description of this video. It'll take you to a bunch of Dropbox files for free. It'll have like tabs. It'll have tabs for the exercises, tabs for the riff, and maybe even like jam tracks. Just because this riff, it's a lot of fun to play with drums. Okay. And it's fun to jam over, like if you've got like some blues licks or some Stevie Ray Vaughan kind of stuff that you like to play a lot. This is like the perfect riff. It's in E minor, So don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If you made it this far, maybe request a song for me to do. Kind of just looking for different videos that I can try to do. So just to help people play better. So that's it. Thank you. Have fun. Don't forget to play this super, super slow at first, especially if you're new to all the techniques.